This is going to be a two-part series, and this is part one, and this is what we're going to build today. This is what it's going to sound like, and basically you control all of this just using like one finger and obviously changing your chords on the keyboard. Hello there reason people, PoohBear here and welcome to my channel. And today I thought I was going to build myself a bit of a generative project. I thought that's what I do. But I'm going to do it a little bit backward because usually I start off building the bit of the engine to do with the generative stuff and then I kind of layer everything out. But today I'm actually going to layer everything out and then I'm going to do a couple of different designs on the generative front because I've got a couple of ideas in my head. As I've been doing a few videos recently with things like Instant Chord, Instant Composer, bit of Scalar, Avenger, and all sorts of other things of how to get MIDI out of them VSTs and into Reason, I thought, hey, why don't I play with something similar to that, what we've got in Reason? And one of my devices I've got in here, which I haven't really used much at all, and I thought, hey, this would be an absolutely ideal time. If I can zoom in a bit, can I zoom in or can't I zoom in? Yay, there we go. I'm going to use this chord line. Now, chord line is very, very straightforward. You've got your key switching, which is done on your black keys. So if I quickly pull down my keyboard, so as I hit my black keys, you can see it's actually doing the key switching at the top. So that chooses what they refer to as a chord set. And then obviously the bottom keys will obviously play each of the chords. In fact, it's down here at the moment because I think I've selected that set there. So I go back to set number one by hitting that key. Great. And now as I play along, you can see them being highlighted. It'll obviously probably make a lot more sense if I actually go and fill these up with chords. Now, I must admit, I was going to come up with my own chord progressions and all the rest of it. Let's see, what have we got here? What's this called? Chord line, isn't it? There we go, chord line. Let's see what they've got in here. Oh, they've got a few things. I must admit, I haven't really explored this one to see what they've got going on. Looks like they've got quite a few things going on here. I don't know, what's this? Can we pull that one up? So as you can see, we've now got the stuff, so obviously. Yeah, so that's how easy it's going to work, and that's what I'm going to use as my generative project. So I can randomize which chord set we're going to choose, and then I can randomize which sort of chord we're going to pull out of it. But I'm going to do it in sets, as this is a chord set. So when I randomize this one, I am then going to pull out several chords from this, and then later on in the generative project, I'll randomize, and then it might say select this one here, and vice versa, and then pull out several chords of that, and keep going on and on and on. As I say, I don't know what we've got here in a way of stuff. Let's just move this out of the way and see what's got going on. What I'm after will be something with I don't want anything like that because it's only three notes. I'm going to want something. Oh, 4 notes. That would probably work for me. What's that? We've got something in sevenths there. So we could do something with that. Oh, EDM. That could be fun. Oh, that's interesting. Bass. Hey, excellent. Here we go, we're going to use this then. Probably just park that keyboard down there so you can see what I'm up to every now and then with it. Yeah, let's use a bit of EDM, and I'm going to probably swap these chords out later anyway. That's the beauty of doing this sort of stuff. So the fact that there's EDM, I want to get myself a nice big fat kind of saw, I reckon, to go with that. And there is a device. It's not called Megasaurus. I'm thinking of voltage modular. It's Mega something. Megasaurus. Let's have a sound of this and see what this sounds like, shall we? That's not sounding too bad. Let's have a look and see what we've got in the way of patches for this. Megasaurus. Oh, look, I'm getting my keyboards in the way now, isn't it? It's going to probably be something like a poly, because that's no good going for pads. Oh, the 80s. I like something called like the 80s. Bit harsh for my liking. The saws. Oh yes. Right. I think I found myself a little bit of a lead sound to play around with. I don't know why I'm moving the keyboard up there. I'm definitely going to need it down here so you can see what's going on. Right, I've already decided as well. Another thing, it's quite funny. I wanted to do a video about where to put effects because I can see a number of people get confused about it. And whilst I was thinking about this, doing this project, I thought, yeah, isn't it weird that I don't use sends anymore? I used to use, obviously, sends all the time. I used to use sends all the time in hardware. I think that's the fair comment. But when I moved over to software, I just stopped using it. Now, I'm going to put this send, I'm going to put this widener on a send. So sorry, it's opened on another screen, so it's got to quickly come across. Why is my mouse disappeared? So annoying. So is that here? Can I see it? Good. And I'm going to grab that and turn it up to full. There we go. So let's just close that off a second. What's going on here? I've got to zoom out. All going all over the place, so that's what I want. I want my mixer channel. It's a shame I can't bring my mixer channel over to the other side. I'm just going to turn that on. I'm going to turn that on pre. I'm going to turn it down quite a bit. Just turn it off, turn that back up. Yeah, nice and full that is. Right, that's going to do me for that. Let's just quickly move on. I think the next thing I'm going to grab, am I going to go and do a bass, or should I go and quickly grab some drums? I might just go and quickly just grab some drums. So I will go for my U-Jam drums. Let's see what we've got. Candy's one I picked up over Christmas in the sales. That's a sort of a poppy one, and I really like my Vice as well, so I'm going to grab them too. Let me just see if I can zoom in here very quickly. Cool, there we go. The first thing, right, I'm just going to double click on these, and the reason I'm going to double click on these and just quickly edit the name is I'm going to actually combine these two drum kits up, he says. So I'm just going to highlight that. And I'm going to highlight that one, and then on the right click and do combine. And if I hadn't edited the names, these would now be saying Combinator 1. So that's the reason why I did that. So what have we got? So if I make sure Combinator's got the thing. In fact, I'm actually going to highlight one at a time very quickly. Not Candy. Sorry, my program goes a little bit weird because I have to go and grab the VST, which is on the other screen. So let me go and grab that VST. I was going to click on open. There. Let's go and open up that one and grab that one, and then I can come and zoom in because we can see what we're doing. So I want that one on top, and I can zoom in. Zoom in. Yay! There we go. Go for something a bit grungy. Ooh, overrun. Nah. that might do me for that. So let's just get rid of that one, and then let's move down to Vice. Let's see what we've got going on Vice. With Vice, it has to be the retro stuff. The other ones, they are okay, but I just love the retro stuff that comes with this. That might work because we've got them layered. Let's have a listen. Brilliant. Right, what I'm going to do now is something a bit weird. I'm going to go and grab myself a delta of all things. There we go. I'm going to grab a delta and just quickly shove that on top of there. And let's see if we can zoom in on delta. Here we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set some notes. So I'm going to have that, and I'm going to just pull, I'm going to hold down the control key on my keyboard. In fact, I'm going to wire that to the out. So I'm lazy. And then I'm going to hold down the control and go 1, 2, 3. So that's going to give me, I'm going to go for 1, 3, 4. Yeah, I want 4. So let's quickly grab that down, and I'm just going to quickly change the grid size so I can change these a bit finer. That's a better. Move that up to the top. Whoops. And we can grab the whole lot and move them across. So at the moment, the first one there, set to my C. I'm going to set that one to a D. So I've got to hold the shift key down. If not, it goes whizzing off. And that one's going to be an F. Oh no, an E. And then that one's going to be F. Hey, let's do it right. Cool. So now, if I'm not now, what we're going to need is a flow first of all. So I'm going to want a chance switch. So I'm going to randomly select what I want to play. We put each one of these nodes to that node, to that node, to that node, and I'm going to wire that node up to that node. So I'm going to hit the key, and it's going to randomly choose. Hit the key again. It happens to choose that one. There it goes, it's gone to the top. Cool. So that's sort of working. We're going to come back to that in a second. Like we're going to come back to a lot of things. Let me just zoom out. I want, here we go. This is what I want. I want a MIDI CV converter. So I'm going to drop that on there. So I'm going to take the notes it's playing. I'm just going to use them to fire off the delta, which is then going to randomly choose a note to play. And then that's going to choose the pattern which it's going to be playing. So let me just quickly flip round to the back. And the reason I sit one of these on top of the others because I'm just lazy, so I can do the wiring together, and now I can just grab this and move this over to this side and just drop it up there somewhere. So now that's got the focus. I should be able to play a key on the keyboard. I'm just going to speed that up just a little bit. Okay, what's happening is obviously I've got 5 notes coming from here, which is coming over to here, and as you can see, that's why it's all highlighting at the same time. So there's 2 ways I can resolve this. It's not really an issue because obviously the way it's randomly working, but just to make sure it doesn't screw things up, I can put, what's it called? Just a normal switch in there. There we go, a sequential switch. And I can just wire one of these up and make it 5 notes. So it's got 5 outputs. Let me zoom in. So we've got 5 outputs, playing 5 notes from my chord. If I only wire one up, the other 4 would just be ignored and they'd be thrown away. Or I could put something like a denote at the top and I could just sort of drop their notes off. But if I do it like that to start with, and now I'm going to hit the key again, you're not going to see these all flash over here. He says, I hit 2 keys then, sorry. So cool, so that's not going so wild now. I've got another silly idea. I'm going to put this delta on top of this candy, and I'm going to take a copy, and let me hold down the control key again and put a copy on there. So now they should be playing different patterns. Yeah. Cool, right. I won't dwell on that too long. This is the problem. I get a little bit suckered into these things. I do have an idea which I might play around with a little bit later. No, let's do it now. Let's just do it now. Let's just do it now. I'll tell you what I was going to do. I was going to grab myself a Morphix. There we go, Morphix crossfader. I was going to grab that in. Let's just quickly do this. I'm going to throw that in the bottom there. Let me hold down the shift key to make sure nothing gets wired up. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to want myself an LFO. So I'm going to go and grab my favourite LFO, which would be little LFO. Let's go and grab that. There we go, little LFO. And again, when I put this in here, just hold down the shift key to make sure nothing's rooted. I'm going to turn this one on. Now, because of the way the crossfader works, this is already at 50%, but 50% on the crossfader is equivalent of doing that. Because this only needs half a volt to go that way and half a volt to go that way. And that's actually what that's pushing out at the moment because it's at 50%. If I do that, it'd be minus 1 volt to plus 1 volt. So I'm going to take it down to there, which is equivalent of moving this fader sort of from there to there. I'm also going to put it onto linear. So it would start to fade down. So in the middle, if this was in the middle, both of these are not going to sound as loud because they're going to quieten down as they get into the middle and then cross over. So we do that. I'm going to have that on 3. I'm going to have a very slow, around about there. It's going to be quite a slow LFO I'm going to want to use. I'm going to grab that unipolar out and put that in. So that's actually going to start moving that. Let's dewire this and let's dewire, oh, it's that one there, isn't it? So let's dewire that as well. And then I'm going to grab that and put that one in there. Grab this one and put it in. Oh, I hate that when I do that. Grab that and put that one in there. And then this output now, means I'm going to have a spare mix channel at the top. Is it going to open up for me? There we go. Thank you. Let's put that into there. And let's just rename that to drums. There we go. Nice and boring. Call that drums. That one can go. Let's keep this a little bit clean, shall we? So there we go. So we've got ourselves some drums now, which are going to be fadey, fadey, fadey. And do you know what I might do? I should really pull out the drums separately, but I'm not going to. I'm going to put that on the pre, and I'm just going to, let's just zoom up over here, sorry. And I'm just going to pull that down. So I am going to put it through the widener as well. So give it some width. We'll come back to that mixing. Right, let's get a bass going. So we've got ourselves that sort of going. Let's grab ourselves a bass, and one of the basses I always wanted to play around with, and I still haven't really done anything with it. It's the Modal Base from, is it IKEA Media, whatever it's called, multimedia. I can't think what they're called now. Let's put that in there for the moment. Here we go. We've got ourselves the bass. It's opened up on the other screen, of course. I love a slap bass, but I don't think a slap bass is going to work for what I'm doing. So, but we'll have a play around with it and we'll see what we can do. We can see what we can do. This is the beautiful things about this sort of stuff. I'm just going to come down here. I'm going to grab this converter, hold my control down. make a copy of it. Let's flip round to the back of the rack, he says, and then very, very quickly do the same sort of thing. I'm just going to quickly wire this up there. I'm going to wire this up to there. Then I'm going to grab this and I'm going to push this over on the top. Now, simple little trick, if you don't know. Oh, if I zoomed right in there. Oh, that's interesting. A simple little trick, if you don't know, is if you even use the dual arpeggiator, you can pull out bass notes out of chords and all the rest of it. But I'm actually going to use my favorite arpeggiator, which is obviously, here it is, Compulsion. That has to be my most favorite one. So if I highlight this one here, and then all I'm going to do is on here, let's zoom in again. Where's my, I had an extra zoom button, didn't I? Did that work? Let's have a look. Oh, look at that, zoom button. So I'm going to just turn the rate down. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into length for the moment, and I'm going to hold my Alt key down, and I'm going to go all the way along the top. So basically I've made the length of every single row the same, so they're all fully on. So that's equivalent. If I was to put that together like that, that'd just be one note, it'd be one long tie. But if I was to obviously do things like that, this would be something totally separate. He says. Oh, let's put it on arpeggiator, it'd help. Yeah, there we go. So what I want is to go boom, boom, and the other thing is I'm going to put this onto spread 1, and I'm going to make S10 there. I'm going to make that an octave higher, so everything I put on that one's going to be an octave higher, and everything on that one's going to be normal. But these are the same key, by the way. So if you look over here, they're both going to say C2 and C2, but I'm making that one an octave higher. Dun, 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 dun. So what I've got to do here is I've just got to change the length of dun, dun, so dun, 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 these two, isn't it? I'm going to change the length of, and I'm going to hold down the Alt key to do this. So, and I want that one there to be lower as well, because that's going to flow into the next one. And I'm going to repeat the pattern, and so it'll be the same there. If I quickly go back to my gates, and I'm going to repeat that pattern, but it's going to sound slightly different. He says, sounds slightly different. Do, 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 do. And as you notice, we've got all these other extra notes going on. Now, it just so happens that these two notes here happen to be the same as this note I'm actually playing here, because this is an octave higher. And I've just noticed that with the EDM chords, they've literally got the bass line, which is one octave down. So they're playing like a C2 and a C3, and then they're doing another, obviously a triad on top of that. Whatever 4 notes are called in a chord, I don't know. I don't know my music theory, sorry people, I don't care. So I noticed that they are doing this bass thing, so I could get away with it, but I'm going to leave it this way, because if I later decide to do my own chord progression, there's a good chance I might only just put 4 note chords in, and then I can transpose the bass note down. But more to the point is, you could hear we're playing full chords, but I'm only putting out that one note for, and that's what Compulsion's doing, and that's what I mean by you can have a big chord set, and Compulsion will pull out your lowest note, because the way it works really well. Really clever stuff. So I'm actually going to knock off these 2 notes, and I'm going to go here and here. Now, the reason I'm putting such a big gap is I've got a spread 1 on. What spread 1 means is this note and this note are the same. This note and this note are the same. This note and this note are the same. This row and this row are the same. And I do it that way, like here, I could just go in and just put this whole row as an octave higher from the one below it. And so I can mess around with things, and it just makes it quicker, I think, personally, for when you're programming it. Right. We're missing one of the notes at the top. So I'm going to hold down my Alt key and press the down arrow twice. So when I hold the Alt key when I use the down arrows, it shifts everything. So everything inside, all these bits and bobs and the octaves and everything, they'll all be shifted down correctly. So everything follows everything. Does that make sense? Apart from this over here, so I've got to pull this down. And now I've got an A at the top, which I couldn't see before, so I might just play around with that and say, let's have an A, da, da, and I might even go back up again or something like that and take that note off. I don't know, let's go from here. Personally, I think that's an octave too high, so I think we need to bring that down an octave. Let's see, I'm going to go and grab, zoom out. Sorry, I've got to zoom out a second. And there we go, we've got an A-B transpose. Let's sit that on top of there. Let's pull that down and let's see what we've got going on. In fact, what I'm going to grab as well, let's grab a denote so I can see exactly what's going on here. Right, it's trying to play, so I've got my keyboard in the way here. It's trying to play these notes here at the moment for the very low key, and it's not. When I play higher up, it's okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to kind of stick with that, and I'm going to use that as a feature. I've done this before in my videos, how to explain it, where I'm actually going to probably cut off even more notes, so then I'm only going to hear the high bit. But let's grab in another bass. I'm going to go and grab another bass in. So I haven't played around with Explorer 7, and I know Explorer 7's got quite a few things from Rob Papahan. Let's see, so we've got the new Blade 2 I haven't played with, Predator 3. And by the way, sorry, I'm over here, so I was looking at the wrong screen then. Before people say, oh, go and click on your camera. No, as I've said in many of my other videos before, I only ever click on the camera once I've actually used the device in a track. Then I take a snapshot of it and I know just from a glance, looking down my list, what I've used and what I haven't actually used in tracks before. So let's have a quick whiz down here. And I was going to grab sub boom bass. I have used that before, so let's just grab that in very quickly. And again, I'm just going to quickly edit this. Then I'm going to highlight that one, and let's combine them up. Boom. Probably going to have to, we're going to have to grab all this stuff here. Let's grab all this stuff here and put that at the top. There we go. And let's make sure we've got that highlighted. And what I'm also going to do is very, very quickly, oh, I've got different colours here, haven't I? Look, I've got this lovely colour here. It's showing a different colour up the top here. I won't exactly say it's a lovely colour, but anyway, let's just change that to something like a sky blue, and then I'm going to say new output. want sky blue as well. Keep that all together and I'll double click on that and call that bass. Sorry, I'm not zoomed in. I was trying to say to myself, I've got to use one screen, but because I've got another screen, I tend to look over when I'm doing certain things, which is very, very naughty of me. So I was interested in listening just to see what's going on with the basses. Let me go and grab that over again onto the screen. Here we go. Where are all the basses under here? I don't know. Oh, that might do for a moment. You know what I'm going to do, don't you? So what I've done here, I've just highlighted all these and just paste them out. So anything notes played in there are not going to be heard anymore. So the bass is really going to be playing, say, along just the top row here, these notes and these notes and this note. When I say the bass, the Modal Base, whatever it's called. And that's the other bass. So let's see what we got together. It's not sounding too bad. That's not sounding too bad at all actually at the moment. So let's move it along, and I'm going to let's bring in a little bit of sparkle. We need a little bit of sparkle. And as we're on the Rob Papa Pen stuff already, it's a bit of a cheat for me, but I am going to go and say, let's pull out, there should be Predator 3 here somewhere. Here we go, we've got ourselves a Predator 3, so let's grab that out. The reason it's a bit of a cheat is Predator, I know Rob Papa Pen has a synth called Go-To, but Predator without a doubt, and really the RE version has been my go-to synth since day one. I call it my fallback synth, so if I'm in the middle of a session and I just need to make a sound quite quickly, I just grab Predator. I find it so versatile and I can come up with real quick sounds really nice and quickly. And the sound banks, I think, which come with the Rob Papa Pen stuff are absolutely amazing. There's been a lot of attention going into it. So if you ever want to learn about sound design, go and have a look at all their different patches and you get some real good ideas going on. Right, that's definitely not the sound I'm after at all. And once again, it's just opened up another channel. So let's pull it over here. I don't have to zoom in too much because it's already big. So really what we want is probably, I'm going to use another compulsion on it. So I want something sparkly. That's what we're after. Close-ish. Okay, not exactly sparkly, but hey, let's grab that and let's layer it up. There's a blade 2. Love blade 2, love blade, should I say. I do use blade more for pads, so I don't know if this is actually going to work. Let's have a look. So once again, I'm just going to highlight them two. Let's combine them. So I've just combined it up. That's all I've done. Sorry, I didn't zoom in then. Let's have a look at blade 2. Let's bring that across. Let's see what we've got here. What have we got? Something synthy, probably. I don't know. How can you go wrong? How can you go wrong with that? The first one. Is it really the first preset? Yes, it is. That's going to do me nicely, actually. I've got such a good idea what to do with that. Bit loud, so you have to bring that volume right down. It's going to zoom out. I'm just going to quickly come down here, and again, I want to. Oh, it really is messing with my colours today, isn't it? So let's put a new colour on these two. I don't care what colour. Let's go for a horrible green colour or something. There we go. Go for Kelly green. Then let's push these both out to a new bus. Oh, it's because my zoom program's on. I've got to scroll all the way down, scroll all the way back up again. There we go, Kelly. There we go, cool. And I've got to play. Oh, I didn't realise that as a strum. Right, I tell you what I'm going to do, actually. I'm just going to, very, very quickly, whoops, velocity. I'm just going to set the velocity, so let's zoom in here. So it doesn't matter how hard or soft I'm going to hit my keyboard, it's always going to come out at the same velocity. Just for the moment, just while I dial things in. And once again, I want to grab that, make a copy of it. So I hold down my control key. Let's flip around to the back and let's take another copy of this, out and out. And then we're going to take this and we're going to move this on top of this. So now let's do that, and zoom out. I'm just going to solo that only. Sounds absolutely terrible. Let's put that on. Right. I'm going to be really original here and create myself a real nice original pattern. I think we might have to get rid of that strum, but let's have a quick look and see what we're going to do. I'm going to do probability. So I'm going to hold down my Alt key and then I'm just going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And I'm going to do one other thing is I'm going to grab myself another delta in. Let's see if we can get zoomed in here. And all I'm going to do is transpose up by 12. So I'm taking my existing chord and I'm going to be playing it, and I'm also going to be transposing it and playing it again, which then should go through the arpeggiator, and hopefully that should sound a bit better. Sounding a bit better. Let's just have a listen to it all. Let's see if we can mix this in a bit better. And I can zoom in. How do I zoom in again a bit further? That one there. Hey. I'm just going to double up that lead as well. Let's see, what shall we grab and whack in there? No, I can't use any of the Cherry Audio stuff, so I use that stuff a lot. Oh, what about some of this? Cherry Audio. That's quite a. These are usually quite super sourced sort of instruments. So once again, let's just control keys to make a copy of that. Flip round to the back. Yes, I could put that into a combinator as well. I'm just going to pull this across. Give that a focus. Sounding rather nice. Let's see what's going on over here then. Zoom in, let's grab these two together. Again, let's just bust these up. Oh my God, what color is that? Is that like a wheat color or something? Oh. Let's just refer to that as a lead or something. It's not really a lead, is it? It's the first pad or something. Okay, so we've got ourselves a few drums, we've got ourselves some bass, we've got some other things. I probably would bring something like, I'll probably bring in some noise or something in the background. I like my sort of windy sort of sound in the background, but that's sounding quite full. And really, I'm actually going to leave this as the first part because obviously I've been going on for quite a while now, probably just over 45 minutes or so. So I'm going to leave this how it is, and then I'm going to do another part where, as I say, I'm going to take this exact project, what we've just done, and I'm going to start doing some more sort of generative stuff at the beginning. As I say, I've got a couple of ideas I'm going to play around with. I'm going to show you some of my modules, but I'm also going to show you some modules which we can use, say from Reason. Yeah, make sure I do something with some free modules so you can see how we do it. But as I say, I'm going to use some of my modules because there's some uniqueness to them. But I'll explain that into the next video. So I'm just going to sort of have a little play around, and I'm going to play out now. So I'm going to say thank you for watching. I'll say bye for now, and yeah, let's see what we can come up with. there. Hey, bye.